about an oppressive, fucked up system designed to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like Amkai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed through a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause they mama got bills. Turning to coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kale? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills. You can dance on a pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all created equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull the steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Feel. Light-skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. Feel. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. Chill. Yo, chill!
Prison industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They've awakened sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. Feel. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter? I like this little nigga.
Shalom Israel. About to start the Hebrew class. Got some awesome shit to go over. Some awesome things to go over. For the Hebrew. Alright. Get my book. We always start out, Shalom, this is Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jeremy Yahana. 1 West 125th Street. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the 12 tribes of Israel. And 12 lost tribes of Israel. All right. So today, We got some good terms, some Hebrew commands, and things of that nature to go over. Hebrew Academy's coming up, so you definitely may soon start hearing these more and more, and especially during Hebrew Academy, you might hear brothers saying it more and more until our nation's getting more and more Hebrew going. Okay. All right, we're gonna start off with the Lashon Kodash. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, ra, sha, and tha. All right, this is the basics. Okay, this is before the white man's alphabet. This is before the alphabet was even the English alphabet was even thought of. It was this. This was the first letters. Okay, for written language. Okay, a, ba, ga. This is before the cavemen. Cavemen. This is before the cavemen. Da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, shalom, sha, cha, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, za, qua, ra, sha, and tha. All right, this is the beginning. All right, right here, this is how everything was written in the beginning by the Adamites and everything like that. The children of Adam, all of that. Okay? Straight ancient. This is the straight ancient Hebrew right here. Okay, this is the straight ancient Hebrew. Okay? After a period of time in captivity, we, in the Assyrian kingdom, we started to change our language. The way we wrote our language, we changed it over to, I guess at that time, we believed it's more modern and, getting rid of the old ways and kind of blending in with some of the more blocky letters of the new society. So that's where you get what we're about to go over next is the Assyrian Hebrew. Oh, look at that. We got a student. Let's see. Let's go to the door. New York. It's usually New York. Last year we didn't have it because of COVID. We had it in Texas. Actually, we just make all these seats. It's some more. Keep it to that. You are living here, but you're also not living here because you got people watching online. There's always people watching online. That's cool. So students, there's never really nobody here, like during class time. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get back to where we was at. We just went over the ancient Hebrew. So like I said, we were in captivity for a while. So we started to change our Hebrew, the way it was written, to kind of be more modern and fit in with the heathens. And so that's where you get the Assyrian. It's A, Ba. It became more like blocky. Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ha, Ta, Ya, Ka. Well, this is Ka if it's at the end of the letter, if it's at the end of the sentence, or the end of the word, it's spelled different. La, Ma, La. That's kind of longer than that one. This is not as long as that one. Na. All right. Sa. I. Pa. Za. When it's written twice, the bottom one means that's what it looks like if it's at the end of a word. So if you got these letters, but this is the last letter of the word the last letter look different. This is Qua, Ra, Sha, and Da, which looks very similar to the. Actually, this is wrong over here. This is more of there you go. Okay. A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Fa, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Za, Qua, Ra, Sha, and Fa. All right. This is the Syrian right here. Bam. This is the Assyrian. Like I said, when we was in captivity, we started off as the ancient Hebrew. We was in captivity in Assyria for a while, and we basically decided to kind of make our letters fit in more with the heathens around us. So our letters could be more blocky and fit in with the Assyrian style, the new styles of letters and new nations. So basically, we tried to make our letters fit and look more like theirs, which is what it is. It's what we did. So this is the Assyrian. Basically, what you read in a Hebrew Bible today, you'll see Assyrian. You won't see the ancient. All right. Okay. Today we're going over some of the words that we will be using real good, that we want to encourage our people for using more, which brothers will learn more, especially in Hebrew Academy, which is basically these command terms and these intelligent terms. So battle command terms and intelligence terms. All right. So our first intelligence term is headquarters. 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 In the Hebrew, the headquarters is the Harlem School. The school in Harlem, New York, is headquarters. And it always will be until Christ's return. For the most part, a Harlem School is the headquarters because that's where the school started at. It started in Harlem, New York, 1969, 1 West 125th Street. Now, the way the definition of it is head, garrison, or station. Okay, it's a head, garrison, or station. And how do you say that in the Hebrew? Is Ra'ash. 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 Matazav. Ra'ash Matazav. Ra'ash Matazav. Let's write this in the Hebrew. All right, in the Assyrian. Hebrew is written from right to left, so it'd be a Ra and A and a Shah. Ra'ash, Ra-ash, Ma-tazav. So Ma-tazav, and then the Ba, tazav.
That's a series.
Tazav. All right, so I'll break it down. So this letter here is a Ra. This letter here is a A. This letter here is a Sha. This letter here is a Ma. This letter here is a Taza. This letter here is a Ma. All right. Okay. All right. Now, these here are called connectors. All right. When this connector is facing up like a frown, it means this is being pronounced by itself. When it's a smiley face connecting two letters, it means these two letters are connected. So it's a Ra, A, Sha. Instead of it being a Ra, Sha, because it's connected, it's Ra'ash. And over here, it's the same. Instead of Matazab, Ba, it'll be Matazab because it's connected. But seeing how you've never been to a Hebrew class before, have you?
No, sir.
Okay. We're going to start, instead of going into all the way into the lesson today, we're going to just focus on the alphabet. All right. Focus on the alphabet. Sorry, our 2 viewers online. We're gonna take a step back real quick for the student to get a grasp on the Lashawan Kodash. All right, let's see, Lashawan Kodash. All right, which means holy tongue. Holy tongue. Okay? Kodash means holy. Lashawan means tongue. All right, so it's kind of like that, like when you learn in Spanish, things are backwards. It's kind of got that Spanish effect. So this is holy. You'll see a lot of brothers whose name have Kodash in it. That means holy or it could mean saint, but it mainly means holy or set apart. So you'll meet brothers whose name have Kodash in it, and that means holy tongue. Lashwan Kodash. That's the name of the alphabet. It's not called alphabet. It's called Lashwan Kodash, the holy tongue. All right. First letter is A. First letter is A. As you can see, it's like a sideways A. It's like an A. This is where the A comes from, because Hebrew was before English. You know, English came later. The way it is now came later. You had Latin and then Spanish, and then you got the English. It came later. But Hebrew was first. So you have A, which is a sideways A. All right. Now you have Ba. It's the next letter. Ba.
I'm gonna write these a little bigger.
Ah. Now you have Ba. Ba. Okay? Ba is basically like a B. It makes the sound of the B. But instead of the sound being B, it's Ba. Like all the that's why they used to call us barbarians, because we spoke like ah ba ga da ha wa. All the language is like that, barbarians. That's why they called us that. All right, so it's like a B, but to say it is ba, ba. Almost all the letters are like that. So you got ah and then ba. All right, next is ga, ga. Okay, which is basically like a G sound, but it's instead of G, it's ga. Ga. That's like a G, but it's Hebrew. Okay, let's go on. Next is Da. All right, Da. That's basically like a D. It's Da. Okay, quick side note, King David, his name in the Hebrew is Da Wa Da. Da Wa Da, right? That's how you pronounce his name. Now, where the shield of David symbol comes from, it comes from his name, because it's a shield of David, and his name has a Da. This is a triangle, all right? And then another triangle and a Wa, which we're going to learn, which would be like this. This would be how he would signature, would be the symbol for his name. Like back in the day, a lot of people had symbols or special ways. Like even today, you may have your name, but then you have your signature. Now your signature could be anything. You see like some people's signature, they be like, what the heck? That it don't mean, you have no. This means James. It's like James Osborne or something. This is the J, this is I, this is whatever, Osborne, J Osborne. That's whatever. That's their signature. Their signature is basically any way you write your name that you write it, right? That's a signature. It's also called a signet. The kings would use it also as a seal. All right. Now, in King David's case, this was his signet or signature. It's just basically a way to that he writes his name in an artistic fashion. Da wa da. This is how you say his name, write his name in the Hebrew. Da, wa, da. And now he just put all that in like a little symbol. And now it's like, that's my signature. Look at it. It's cool. That's all. And then basically we throw that on the armor. We throw that on the shield. It represents King David and King David's dynasty, King David's throne. that the Lord swore that it'll always be somebody from the seed of David on the throne. So that's what it represents. That's why it was always in our culture, on Jerusalem, on our soldiers, everything. That's where it comes from. It don't come from no Baphomet or no Baal. Nobody has no proof of that. Nobody has no proof. They'll say, they say, so they'll pull a scripture and say, this is the what's the thing they call it?
Morning star.
It's something with a star. Like,
Star.
yes, they'll come up with anything, right? They'll say, yeah, it's the Star of Rampham. Because look, star, and look, today, we think of star as a shape like this. Not a star in the sky. Nowadays, we don't think of stars as stars in the sky like they did in the scriptures. Nowadays, a star is like, similar like this. Look, a star, what's some little, I don't know, no other symbol than that. What's the other one where it's like,
You got me like a triangle.
like that or something?
Yeah, you got
it's like that,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know. That's basically the same thing. But they have other, like what today we would call star shapes, like the shape of a shooting star. But back in the scriptures, a star was in the sky, and it ain't got no shapes. It's a glow. Like in the scriptures, a star was what you call in the sky. So when they call somebody a star, they say he's like the light of that. He's like brightness of that, like a superstar today. Oh, he's famous or he's big for that. Like he's a star of football. He's like a shining light in football. That's what the metaphor is in the scriptures. Now today, they go, oh, it's a star. Then that's the Star of Rampham. But they don't have no proof. It ain't like they got an archaeological book where it's like, look, this is the Ramphamites, and they had this symbol and they was worshiping it, and read a whole paragraph with pictures and evidence, and they just saying that. Like, you be like, what's your proof? Because it says star, that look like a star, that's the Star of Rampham. It's evil, it's wicked, but cats don't be having no type of proof. I'm sure you heard that people say this is Star of Molech. That's what they call it, Star of Molech.
Oh,
But nobody ever pulled a Star of Molech from another book or something like that to prove it. Shalom. Regarding the classes or doing movement job? Okay. Now, we're closed on Saturdays. Sunday morning is kind of booked. We probably the closest opening is towards 3, 4 o'clock. What are you moving? Are you in the chair? In the stairs? And you say you gotta be out of there the earliest we can fit you in is at 3 o'clock. No, we already booked up. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, when we can fit you in, like I said, Thursday will be Sunday afternoon will be the next opening. All right. No problem. That's how you gotta do it, man. Close on Saturdays, man. You don't work on the Sabbath if you own the business. But if they own it, then they try to tell you anything. You gotta follow a little bit of their rules. All right, let's get back to the lesson. We have still a lot of students hopping in. Let's see. All right. So yeah, that's King David. That's the seal, the signature of David. It don't mean no Molech or Rampham or none of that BS. All that is just made up garbage. Like dudes be like, oh, it says star right there. Well, that means that's the star. You see, y'all worshiping the wrong thing and blah, blah, blah. Like cats just be high, smoking weed, saying anything. They don't ever have no proof or no books or nothing like that to back up what they're saying. All right? They may show you a meme or something on the internet and say, look, see, that's how you know. Look at the meme. But meme is not history. Anybody just make the meme and say, look, Star, Ram Fam, and put a symbol on there and say, well, now you think that's a fact. That's why. That's like people say, don't believe everything you see on TV. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. All right? Get a book to back it up, or get 2 or 3 sources that are credible to back it up. All right, Da. The next letter is Ha, which is like an H. It's kind of even drawn like an H, like in English. You know what I'm saying? Like even the D is like it's like a D. This is like an H a little bit. Okay? Ha. All right, next is Wa. Wa. Okay? Wa. Za. It's like a Z. It is basically a Z. Za. Cha. All right? It's like a ladder. Cha. It's not cha, it's cha. All right? And it's not even ka, like a K. It's cha. That's how you got to say it. That's the correct way to say it. Cha, cha, cha. All right? Like you have like phlegm in your throat. Cha, cha. All right? Then we have ta. Okay? It's like a T inside of a circle. Who knows? Similar like a target, ta. Next is ya. All right. Then ka, which is like with a K, ka. La. Oh, sorry. It's la. It's basically a backwards uppercase L. La. All right. Ma and na. So ma and na. So you see the resemblance. A ma, this has got 2 humps, and this got 1 hump, just like a ma, just like an M and an N. This has 2 humps. This has 1 hump. All right. Or like a small lowercase one is like that's a ma and a small lowercase n. It's basically just flipped upside down. You know what I mean? To make the ma symbol or whatever. All right. This whatever like that, or it's like that. Basically the ma. That's where the letter comes from. It comes from these symbols. The way we write the letters now come from these symbols. All right. And the proof of that is in the dictionaries. Let's see. Let's show the proof real quick. Since we're talking about proving things, let's show the proof that these are the first letters. First letters was written like that. Dictionary. American Heritage Dictionary. Okay, it's all the letters. It goes into all the letters in this dictionary, but it shows you around 10,000 BC, the Phoenicians and other Semitic peoples, Semitic, that's Israelites, because they come from Shem, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. So the Israelites are Semitic. So it's talking about other Semitic peoples, which includes Israelites, began to use graphic signs to represent individual speech sounds of syllables or words. They used a symbol in the forms 1, 2, and 3. So here, 1, 2, and 3, and these symbols is what the early Semitic people used in 1000 BC. This is for the letter B. And here, this symbol here is the Hebrew for Ba. As you can see here, I'll put up for people online. symbol. It says 1, 2, and 3, which is these ones right here, which is what we're learning. And then you see the progression of the letter change to where we got it today. You know what I mean? You see it in Greek, you see it in Roman, medieval times, and then to modern day times. All right, let's see. To represent the sound of the constant B, and called it Beth, their word for house. The Greeks, adapting the Phoenician alphabet, kept the phonetics value of Beth, but valued its shape and orientation and changed its name to Beda, blah, blah, blah. All right. And then it goes down to the medieval people and things like that, and the modern day stuff. So if you want to check that out, I got the other letters. It's got all the letters in there. All right. Now the B is supposed to be for house. So Bob meant house. That's why it looked like this. It looked like that. You can put a line right there, and that's the house. Because that's the roof right there, and this is the house. House. You know what I mean? Each one of these represent a picture as well. They represent like kind of what the word meant. Because Ba means house, and a lot of the words with Ba in it have to do with house. You know, like if you say, if you want to say son in Hebrew, you know how to say son in Hebrew? It's Ban. Ban with a B, right? Ban. That's how you say son. Because Ba has to do with your house. Because Ba represents house. You know what I mean? This is a house symbol. All right. How to say daughter is Bayath. Daughter. You know. So Abba is father. Abba. Abba is father. Is like the first, and then Ba. You know, the first of the house. Father, Abba. That's what Abba means. You know, so all these letters, we have a sheet with that has all their actual meanings and stuff. Like I think has to do with cattle and stuff like that. So I got to get that sheet from the school. We got a sheet that has all the pictures, like phonetics. So like this is basically like a cattle. This makes cattle. So this is like 2 eyes, and this is like its horns. You see what I'm saying? So most of the things would have a lot of word that have to do with has to do with cattle or animals or things like that. You know what I mean? And that's like that for all these letters. All these represent different stuff. And their pictures, you know, in the way they're pictured.
So who exactly are the Phoenicians? Are they like
Phoenicians would be like the similar like the Philistines. Like the Philistines.
they just spoke a similar language?
The Philistines, they spoke a similar language and wrote similarly. Because we was in the same area. Let me see if I got you got a phone? Google Phoenicians.
All right.
Those are basically Africans. I got the Bible dictionary over here.
Hamites?
Yeah, they're Africans. They're like the Philistines. So look up the word Philistines on your phone. Then you can, find out more about them. But you definitely, always need a teacher to confirm that what you're looking at is good. Let me see which you P. How you spell Phoenicians? PH.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, PHOENIC. IAAN.
What does your Google say? Here we go, Phoenicians. Okay. Phoenicia. A strip of coastal territory between the Lebanon Range and the uplands of Galilee is basically here in Israel and the Mediterranean Sea, containing the trading ports of the great maritime people which bore its name. Phoenicians were associated with their cities, hinterland. They're basically Africans, though.
It says Canaanites on Wikipedia.
Yeah, which Canaan comes from Ham, which is Africa. And they were the same people as the Philistines, or similar people. Well, they're all Ham Canaanites. So like they're the same family as the Philistines. I double check if they actually are the Philistines as well, but they're similar. You know, big African Goliath and stuff like that. So those are Africans. But they were Africans that lived in Israel, like right next to us. See what it said, they live by Lebanon and all that, that's in Israel. So there's just some Africans who lived there. We actually had to take the land from them. When we came out of Egypt, we had to go, the Lord told us to go take the land. So Joshua was our leader, and we went to go fight. You ever heard the walls of Jericho?
Oh.
So that was us coming out of Egypt, but we had to fight to get the promised land. So we had to walk around walls of Jericho 7 times, blow the trumpet. The Lord destroyed their walls. We went in there and killed them, took over the city. Then we moved on, and we had to take over cities and take over all types of territories so we can get the land and then give it to all the tribes. So the Phoenicians were some of the people that stayed strong in there that didn't get taken out. There was a whole lot of Africans that got taken out, like the Hittites, the Havites, a whole bunch of Africans that got wiped away. The Lord told us to kill them all. So we got rid of them all. They died off as a people. Like, maybe a couple hundred may escaped and stuff, but then they just scattered, and then they just not like a nation anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we had got rid of their kingdom. And so they just scattered around in different places and, just stopped being a people. But the Phoenicians and the Philistines, they stayed strong. We weren't able to wipe them out. You know what I mean? Because of our weakness. You know what I mean? The Lord said, because we was sinning and stuff, doing different things, so some of them stayed there or were left there. And the Lord said He's going to use them to be a thorn in our side. And some of them was the Phoenicians.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And the Philistines. That's why we still had to fight the Philistines. But the Lord, I thought He gave us the promised land. So why we still had to fight the Philistines? Because we were sinning against the Lord. And He left some people there to test us. If we're going to follow the heathens or we're going to follow the Lord. All right. So yeah, but that's the proof in that book that this is the first alphabet. Period. First one that they got. They don't got nothing before that. You look in there, 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, that's the first letter that they have. They talk about Hammurabi's code and this and that. This was before Hammurabi's code. This is what Adam spoke. Adam spoke this. This is what, before the Lord split the people in the Tower of Babel, everybody was speaking Hebrew. The angels speak Hebrew. That's another thing. People don't know. Hey, people think the angels speak in English and stuff like us. Hell no. America ain't that great. They've only been here 400 years. There's a whole bunch of lands before America. So why would the angels all of a sudden speak this language? No. Because they want to keep up with us? No, they ain't worried about, they speak in the original tongue, Hebrew. All right, that's why it's the holy tongue. All right, so Na, then Sa, Sa, all right, I, it's letter I, Pa, Qua, Ra, Sha, and Tha. Alright. This is the Lashon Kodash, the holy tongue. Okay? Alright. Got the mental note? It's your turn. You come up here to the board and write the Lashawan Pradash. You can use the key up there to help. There you go.
Right to left.
Uh,
First we got Ah. And Ba.
So yeah, everybody, this is the original language of the earth. You know, it's not hard to find, just open up a dictionary, come to the Israelite School UPK, and you'll learn these things. Don't expect to learn these things or to get readily taught these things in the white man's school, colleges, and the white man's school system. He wants all society to start when the Greeks started. He feels like there was no society until the Greeks had a society, which is bullshit. You had all types of kingdoms and lands and castles before the Greeks even were thought about. You know, you had Israel, you had Egypt, you had Syria, you had Persia, you had Babylon, you had all these different lands, Canaan, the Hittites, all these different lands for people, nations, kingdoms, and all that before Greece was even on the earth. Even in Hebrew alphabet, too many humps in that mind. It's too, like an ant, you got two humps. Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew is very similar to English. If you notice, a lot of languages, the letters of their languages are very similar. I think Spanish got the exact same letters.
Yeah.
They got the exact same letters as English. German, I think they got some of the exact same letters. Portuguese, I think, have the exact same letters. French, they have the exact same letters, I believe, as well. So a lot of the letters have been the same, they just have different variations on them.
Finished.
Got it?
Yes,
Let's
sir.
check it out. Let's check it out. On first glance, it don't look too shabby. Yeah. A, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, cha, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, qua, ra, sha, da. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good right there. Yeah, wrap that up, wrap that up. You know what I'm saying? All right. Okay. Go ahead and now you gotta try to memorize. Okay. Try to memorize the being able to say the Lashwan Kodash. That's what we're working on that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to work well, try to memorize it, and then we'll give it a shot.
All right. So you just mean like
Like
no,
basically
once
being
I
able to
see this.
say Aba Gada Hawa Za Cha Ta Ya Ka La Mana Sa I Pa Ta Za Kwa Ra Sha Da. That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, so let's work on that. If we can get over, if we get a little bit into that hurdle, man, we can make progress on the first day. Good way to try to memorize things is doing it piece by piece. You know? So maybe it's like the first line, then work on the second line. You know? Or saying it together. Let's give it a shot. All right. What you got? Go ahead. Close your eyes. Let's give it a shot. What you got memorized so far?
Abba, Da,
Mm-hmm.
Abba,
You got that far. Abba Gada Ha.
Da, Wa,
Yeah.
I probably got it.
That's good though. That's good so far. You know what I'm saying? You know, Abba Gada Ha Wa. We got that far. Sa Sa
Yeah.
Sa Sa Ta Ya Ka La Ma Na Sa I Pa Ta Za Kwa Ra Sha Da. There's a scripture in Revelation where it says, you know, I am the Alpha and Omega. In Hebrews, I am the Ah and the Tha. Ah is the first one and Tha is the last letter. Even in English, Tha kind of changes to just an X. The letter X, ain't that the last letter? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P. Oh, okay. X is close to the end.
But I think Alpha and Delta in Greek mean first and last too.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Greek alphabet.
The Alpha and Omega. I thought Alpha and Omega.
Yeah.
It's Alpha and Omega. Omega is the last letter.
Oh, that's even what they meant. Like
First and the last. What Christ meant by that is a deep meaning. Meaning he was the first man, and then which is Adam. Christ was also Adam in the reincarnation, and then he was Christ, where he had to fix because Adam basically messed up, and then Christ is fixing what Adam messed up. You see what I'm saying? So he's the first and the last. Basically, it means like he's the first one, the first man, and then he's the last man before everything changed. You know what I'm saying? So, because when Christ came, then everything changed from there. Because brothers start following Christ. You know what I'm saying? That's a deep breakdown. Shalom. Mhm. Okay. 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 Are you the house that I moved from an apartment to like a two-story house? Okay. On the west side, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that was a big move. It was a lot of stuff. Okay. How much things are? I'm kind of busy right now. I'm kind of jammed up. I'm gonna have to call you back, and I'll be texting you to get some more information. Okay. All right. I'll call you back and I'll text you. Thanks. Big one. Move, Josh. All right. So yeah, so this the alpha, the Lashwan Kodash. Okay. Uh, let's do a repetition. Let's write it over one more time. Best way to learn it. Write it over and over again. All right. Let's write it over one more time. Brothers at home, watching online, y'all should be practicing your Hebrew as well. Write it down in your notebook. Writing it over and over again. Okay, one sec. Good. let's give it a try without looking at it. All right, let's give it a shot. All right. Good shot. Yeah,
Cha.
yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, let's say it a few times with looking at it. All right, get some time to memorize this one.
Cha.
No, not cha. Cha.
Ka.
Cha. Yeah, cha.
Za. Ka. Ta. Ya. Ka. La. Ma. Na. Sa. That's just I for the O.
I.
Uh,
Makes it sound I.
I. Pa. Taza. Ka. Ra. Sha. Ta.
All right, give it another shot when you're ready. People at home watching online, you should be giving it. You should be practicing your Hebrew Rashomon Kodash as well.
Za. Ka. How would you say bless you in Hebrew?
We don't say bless you. That's a Christian thing.
Oh,
Like somebody sneezes or something like that,
yeah.
they the ones who really should be saying something because they're the ones who bring in molecules and stuff. But we don't say like nothing like bless you or nothing like that. It's a Christian thing. It's not in scripture or anything like that. All right, you ready? It's here.
God, Ta, Ya. Is it God after Ya?
Ka. No, Ya, Ka, La.
Ya, Ka, La, Na.
Sa.
Sa, Ma, Ka, Ta, Ka, Sha. Wait, is it that the X is it? How do you pronounce that? Is it Ta? The last letter?
Tha. Tha.
Ta.
Tha. give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Pretty much had time. So just say it a few times by looking at it, and then I'll try to convince this here. Me, how I memorized it was I don't know, it kind of made like a ring or a jingle in my head, especially when you got like to the Ya Ka La Mana Sa Ai Pataza Kwa Rasha. That part's kind of go together to me like a ring, you know. It's your first day, so it'll take some time. It'll take some time getting used to. I'm gonna leave it up on the board. It takes some time getting used to. All right. Much at a time. So read the announcements. All right. Clap it up. Hebrew class.
Can't say picture this stuff.
Yes.
All right.
ISBK security announcements. We are at ISBK, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests. Not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We got September 6th is the feast day. I believe the memorial of blood of the trumpets. You can check ishbk.com for more information on that. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black. Boots, shirt, pant, headband, and scarf. With that said, Imaja, which means stand. Rise and face the east. We'll do the Lord's Prayer. Abinawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kadash. Hayah. Shabbat. Yahweh. Balakutah. Kabbalah. Pasatariya. Hayah. Aisha. Maharatza. Kawa. Hayah. Mashamayim. Nathanawa. Lakam. Kau. Yawam. Wasalak Nawa. Kawabat Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Kawabati Nawa. Wala'a. Tabiyai Nawa. Barasai 1. Abo. Awashai Nawa. Maya. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Ha'ala. Wa'afaparth. Livalumyum. Amma. In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for Lakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'akashai. Nathanael. Hakat. Hakat. La'arba'ah. Kamakala, Wakamarawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazaraya, Hakak, Lahakwil, Amathir, Hakak, Harukawa, Latama'ala, Lagarsha, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Barama. In the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power, the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahushai? Why Me'aka Allah? Why Alahayo? Mataz Aviyah. Awak Yahana. Ha Awak Ha Saranya. Ha Patazayanya. Ha Kayayanya. Why Hakwakia. Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai. Tawada Amon. In the English, bless you Yahweh. And Yahushai. In the miracle. In the angels. Commanding General Yahana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Anointing prayer in the Hebrew. Yabarabba Yahweh. Yashamarka. Ya'ar Yahweh. Yahweh. Alika. Wayakanka. Yasha'a. Yahweh. Hanua. Alika. Wayashamlaka. Shalom. Yahweh. Hashem Yahushai. Barak. Rapah. Magun. Magun. This is where you say names of loved ones in the world. The Thurman family. Say it also. The Thurman family. The Sutton family. The Hill family. And all the children of Israel. You have any loved ones in the world that you want to pray for? Say Ba'ashem Yahushai. What we said in English was Yahweh. Bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh. Make his face shine upon thee. And be gracious unto thee. Yahweh. Lift up his countenance upon thee. And give thee peace. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect. Pray for the curses. Bless her to Yahweh. King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yeah. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. That speak up against us. Thy prophets. The teachers. The princes. The priests. The Israelite brothers. And the school. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the heathen. And shake loose the treasure. Of the rich of Israel. That refuse to get to the school. Force their riches. To enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses. And punishment and destruction. To the Edomites. And the nations. And their drug dealers. The court system. The prison system. Planned Parenthood. All the governments of our enemies. Amalek synagogues and armies. Roman Catholic Church. The Pope. Islam. Christianity. Egyptology. Militia. Ku Klux Klan. Aryan Nation. Skinheads. Posse Comitatus. The lesbian movement. The gay movement. Spies. Workers of witchcraft. NASA space program. Army. Navy. Air Force. Marines. Wall Street. Open up the internet. And the airwaves. The cable access channels. And the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people. that seek to stop us
that seek to stop
and bring swift destruction
us and bring swift destruction
to all the heathen
to all of you
that stand in the way
that stand in the way
or try to stop us
and try to stop
from broadcasting your words
us from broadcasting your words
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet.
Let loose all the plagues,
Let loose all the plagues,
cause them to go
cause them to go
to and fro
to and fro
through the earth
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plagues
Let the plagues
shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahushua,
May Yahushua,
Michael, and Gabriel
Michael, and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucer
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathen
that come up against us
that come against us
as we speak thy word.
as you speak that word.
Cause to be known by all
Cause to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that is the angels that have done it.
Cause to be spread through the media
Cause to be spread through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause to shake at that coming.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
thank you always.
thank you all.
So be it.
So,
Sar, sir, to the teacher. We're going to give a curse salute to the teacher. Name of Israel, Mount Shabbat. I'm Machu. Barak. Yeah, repeat after me. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua.
Yahushua,
Slide. Yahweh. I said it right. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua.
Yahushua,
Barak.
Barak.
Oh, you know it a little bit?
I know the first one, but the second one I have trouble with.
Alright, well then, go ahead and say it. Salute Barak.
Barak,
Say it.
Go ahead.
Barak means bless or salute. So when we're going to say Imagim, which means stand. Imagim Shabbat, which means stand at ease. We're going to say Barak, which means salute or bless. So then you say it. Go ahead.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Barak.
Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Barakatah. That's the top, hands down. Sar, we're going to turn and salute the sisters watching online. May of Israel, Ma'am Shabbat, Imagim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatah Ba'ashem Yahushua. So it's Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamar,
Shamar,
Alatah
Alatah,
Ba'ashem
Ba'ashem,
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Y'all's top. Class dismissed. Yeah, it's good to know the whole front. First part of school.
All praise.
You said all praises?
Yeah.
Now you want to say Most High in Christ.
Uh,
Just say Most High in Christ.
okay.
All praises, another sound. It's kind of, I think that's one of the things like it. So just say Most High in Christ.
Most High in Christ.
Basically, I just say like, oh, that's what's up, or that's great.